Hello, everybody. Sorry about the bit of a delay there. I had to take care of a few things, and I just wanted to make sure the internet was all right, because it seems like there's just service problems today in general. So, a quick check on Twitch Inspector, and everything was good, and my bitrate is holding right now, right where I want it to be. So awesome. Let me open that up just so the clouds start moving for you guys. So, just a kind of a fun thing. My Christmas gift from a friend of mine finally came in, apparently, and I got it. And it's this shirt, and you know what? It works for this playthrough. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's Natsuki's first poem from the base game. Just with little pictures. I think it's cute. I think it's adorable. He had no idea what it referenced from the game. He had never played Doki Doki before. He just knew I liked it. So good on him for getting a shirt with poem by Best Girl. My best girl. Okay, so. Oh, I gotta. Oh, wrong thing. I keep doing that wrong thing. There we go. Yeah. Okay, there. That's turned on. That's what I want to see. So we'll back to that main menu. Alright, so. What happened last time we played? Well, to put it simply, we spent the day with Yuri. We were setting things up for the, festival. We had to take a quick stop at the school to grab some paintbrushes, paints, and a banner. Then we got back, made the banner, made some paper to put on strings over the doorway. Just all great, wonderful decorations, and her also introducing us to aromatherapy. She also introduced us to her hobby of collecting and liking knives, which us being a dumbass decided to prick our finger on one. Unlike in the base game, however, where Yuri kind of panics, grabs her finger, and then just kind of starts sucking on it, we do the smart thing and say, "It's okay. I got a first aid kit in the downstairs." So we just cover it with a bandage. No awkward finger sucking and then awkward licking Yuri's hand afterward either. No cringe there. Even though it is kind of just like, I mean, it's cringy on her part, but freaking adorable on our part for just like, hey, well, there. Now we both did it. You don't have to feel as awkward. So then, the next day rolled around. We met up with Sayori, who had all her part for the, festival set and ready to go. We made it to the classroom, we set everything up, and it's time to go through with the festival and the poetry reading. We'll see, how well that goes. As you can see, this is already the biggest change from Act 1 base game. In the base game, the minute we get to the class, we read Sayori's poem inside the pamphlet before anyone else really gets there, and we realize something is wrong, so we rush back to her house, and then, you know, Doki Doki happens. In this case, no. Sayori met with us in the morning, everyone showed up, we set the room up, and now we're actually doing the festival. So it's continuing on from where the base game's Act 1, you know, abruptly ends. So we are going to be getting into newer territory now. So just take all the interactions we've seen throughout Act 1, this Act 1, and maybe even just if you've seen base game, you're coming into this now. Just take anything you know about them there, and just... that's more or less going to be their characterization, in a way. You gotta kind of see how things expand from there. And here, we go. And I already skipped a line. Good job, me. This freaking music. It gets you hyped for this festival. Okay, I skipped that line by accident. So I'll just read it here, return, and we'll properly continue on. Monica and Sayori have greeted the newcomers and settled them in desks throughout the classroom. Some people are already helping themselves to cupcakes, and I noticed Natsuki keeping an eye on them. Meanwhile, Yuri is nervously looking through a pamphlet. I can see her soundlessly mouthing the words to her poem. Now that I think about it, I should be getting some extra practice in as well. Before I can do so, though, Monica heads back towards us with Sayori in tow. British Monica, that's right. Showtime, everyone! Let's do this, guys! And I have the lovely voice. How the hell did I do that? Time to get this over with. I can do this. We group up and stand together at the front of the classroom. Monica steps up to the podium and clears her throat, drawing the room's attention to her. Okay, everyone. Welcome to the Literature Club's poetry performance. My name is Monica, as some of you may know. Some girls sitting near the front of the classroom wave at her. And I'm the president of the club. Accompanying me is my vice president, Sayori. Yeah, Sayori just interjects because Sayori is Sayori. She's gonna be herself. Hi, guys! And the rest of our club members. Yuri, Natsuki, and last but certainly not least, Baron. We all wave back at the students with varying degrees of enthusiasm. I hope that you all enjoy our poetry, and that we'll be able to help contribute to a memorable festival. Literature is amazing in its ability to connect us to the human condition, and we really hope that this event will help encourage others to start participating as well. Our club will gladly welcome any new members, from those who love words and writing as well, to anyone who's simply just curious and wants to learn more. After the scheduled performances, we'll be opening up the stage for anyone else who wants to perform, so don't be shy. And now, without further ado, I'll be starting with my poem, The Way They Fly. I'm really hoping this isn't actually reading. I cannot remember if she actually reads out an entire poem in text form, or it's just, she says this. So, I'd rather not read out poems in voices. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and I head off to settle down in the frontmost desks, saving a seat at the end for Monica. She stands there, alone, yet still radiating confidence. After flashing a smile and a wink at us, she begins. Each word is crystal clear and exudes emotion. Somehow, her recitation is even better than it was only a few days ago. She must have practiced hard to try to achieve perfection. The classroom is silent at first, drinking in her words. After a few moments, however, some whispering starts up in the back of the classroom. I guess that's inevitable, but it still doesn't make it any less annoying. I exchange a look with Natsuki, who rolls her eyes at the disruptions. Sayori pats my hand and gives me an encouraging smile. She's comforting as always. As Monika's poem progresses, more and more people wander in. Normally this would be a good thing, but they're making a lot of noise. Thankfully, they simmer down once they realize Monika's speaking, but the damage has already been done. She reaches the end of her poem, the last few words resonating in the classroom. A round of applause fills the room, and Monika beams at everyone, patiently waiting for them to finish. Thank you for listening, everyone. I hope you enjoyed my poem, and that it gave you a flavor of what this club is like. For the newcomers, welcome! We're just in the midst of showing you all our poems. For the benefit of those who've just joined, she quickly reintroduces everyone. Anyway, up next is Natsuki. Take it away. Natsuki stumbles slightly as she makes her way to the front of the class. I guess the nerves are really getting to her. It doesn't help that someone sniggers, causing her to turn to glare at them. Sayori seems to notice too, as she hastens to shoot Natsuki a reassuring smile. Natsuki stands at the front of the classroom with her poem in hand, slight traces of irritation still visible on her face. Yeah, sure, let's piss her off. Anyway, so, my poem's called Jump. She takes a deep breath and begins her recital. Just as I was hoping, she's able to inject her trademark bouncy style into the performance, bringing the words to life. She doesn't quite radiate the confidence Monika did, but her unique style shines through, giving the poem a flow and rhythm. Or is it rhyme? I can never tell the two apart. I think that's rhythm. Yeah, that's rhythm. While simple, it's effective. My heart sinks as I start picking up on the newcomers having their own conversation in the back of the room. I'm hit with a surge of anger. How can they be so inconsiderate? It's clear that they aren't paying any attention, and from the pause and change in Natsuki's tone, she's clearly picked up on it as well. Why can't they just save their stupid, selfish conversations for after our performance? Because they're high school kids, they're dickweeds, that's why. Her poem comes to an end, but unlike Monika's, there's a slight awkward moment of silence. Once again, there's a round of applause, but it's clear that the audience's engagement isn't quite as strong. Well, the happy-go-lucky music stopped. That ain't a good thing. Great performance, Natsuki. I really like the rhythm of that poem. Natsuki forces a smile and makes her way back to her seat. It's clear that she's upset. Anyway, our Vice President Sayori is next to perform. Do not break the cinnamon bun. Please do not break the cinnamon bun. Don't do it. Do not do it. Hi, everyone! I hope you like my poem. Jesus Christ, this is not gonna go well. I already know this isn't gonna go well. She cheerily skips up to the front, poem in hand. As she turns to face us, she looks a little nervous, fidgeting slightly. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. It's okay, Sayori. Just remember what we've practiced. I've got full faith in you. Okay, cool. You know, Monika is so freaking supportive. Like, damn, she is just, you can do it attitude. But not in the super overbearing, potentially Sayori way of just, you know, You can do it. You can do it being boisterous about it. This is the calm, you can do this. It's all right. I've got your side kind of thing. Yeah, you've got this. This one's called My Meadow. Oh, music's back. Okay, the music's slightly off. Ooh. She begins her poem. Her soft voice guides us through the recital, and there's a remarkable contrast between her cheery inflection and the more bittersweet nature of the words. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice people casually flicking cupcake wrappers onto the floor, along with candy wrappers lying on the tables. Yeah, things are getting a little fucked up. Worse still, the talking is getting louder and more noticeable. Monica looks around at the perpetrators, frowning at them. One of the students lets out a loud yawn, making absolutely no effort to hide it. Another student picks up one of the quotes and nudges their friend. They both frown and laugh at the message, and I get the horrible feeling it's more the mocking kind of laugh. At this point, I'm seeing red. If we weren't in school, I would have punched these inconsiderate pricks by now. No one should be this rude to Sayori. She's probably the sweetest person I've ever met. And they're being total dickweeds. Oh my god. I hate high schoolers. Despite the now obvious disruptions, she's still trying her best and is making a real effort to continue. To her credit, her performance is still commendable. She manages to work the contrast of her enunciation against the words in her favor. It adds an interesting depth to the poem. I'd love to see more of this side to her. She brings her performance to a close, hands shaking slightly. Monica, you're trying so hard here. You're trying so hard here. It's very obvious. Oh my god. I hate this. This is uncomfortable. This is like every student's worst nightmare. Lovely poem, Sayori. You really brought that one to life. Thank you. Something's off with her voice. It's like how she was on Friday. Monica stands up, turning to address everyone in the room. Just a polite reminder that it would be much appreciated if everyone could give our poets some respect while they're performing. Monica looks stern, while Natsuki looks positively furious. Thank you. Now, the stage is all yours, Yuri. Oh my god. Yeah, this is not gonna end well. Yuri is looking terrified at this point. Sayori gives her a reassuring squeeze, and I lean over, whispering into her ear. You've got this, Yuri. Just pretend like it's only me, Natsuki, Sayori, and Monica. I can't do this, Baron. Yes, you can. I believe in you. I've seen how passionate you can be when you talk about I can see how passionate you can be when you talk about Portrait of Markov. That's like something that's never actually been brought up. Sure, we read a book. We never implied what the hell the book was. So that's weird. I love that. I love seeing that side of you. Besides, like you said, this club could be the perfect place for any of these people. We just don't know it yet. She swallows nervously, nodding at my words. Okay. Thank you. She rises to her feet, poem clasped firmly to her chest and avoiding eye contact with everyone as she walks up. Her eyes flick up to glance at the classroom when she gets on stage, although she quickly ducks her head back down to look at her poem on the podium. I've been there. Stage fright is a thing. This poem is titled After Image of a Crimson Eye. Her voice quivers as she starts, but unlike her recitation a few days ago, the meek and trembling version of Yuri remains well into the poem. She determinedly forges ahead, but I can tell she's not enjoying it in the slightest. The rest of the classroom, momentarily subdued by Monica's words, soon begins to grow louder again. After a few lines of her poem, they are even more unruly than before. The crinkling of wrappers fills the air, and at a few points, Yuri is almost drowned out by others' voices. Oh my god, this is why teachers need to be present. I know this is an extracurricular thing, but teachers need to be present to deal with bullshit like this. I catch a few people getting up and leaving the classroom, and by the slight hitch in her voice, it seems like Yuri's seen them as well. Her eyes stay glued to her poem now, and it looks like she's trying her hardest to ignore everyone. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Monica, get your, game reality breaking powers back and delete that motherfucker. Oh my god. Alright. One boy quietly wolf whistles at Yuri, causing her to jump and lower her head even more. She's practically shaking like a leaf. This is absolutely disgusting behavior, and I open my mouth to say something. Suddenly, Natsuki stands up, a loud scraping noise from her pushing away from the desk, drawing the attention of the students. Oh my god. Does anyone else feel uncomfortable, like, me reading through this? Because I feel uncomfortable reading this. This is just, I don't like it. But I mean, good job, writers. You made me feel uncomfortable like they all do right now. The music probably doesn't help. Oh.
Can you all just shut up? I'm really freaking sick of this. How can you guys be so rude? We're trying our best to show you something amazing here, and you're just going to stomp all over our hard work like that? Unbelievable. Can't even understand how people can be this arrogant and just this plain terrible. I didn't want to interrupt you, Yuri, but I can't stand it anymore. You idiots might as well leave if you aren't going to pretend to pay attention.
Hey, Jen. I started like half hour ago. I was a little busy and delayed. We're just going through the poetry reading at the festival, and it's not going well. People were okay during Monica's, then they started talking over Natsuki and Sayori. Now Yuri's like very visibly gonna have like a freaking mental breakdown. Yeah, it's not. This is like every student's worst nightmare. Yeah, I was set and ready to go at 10, but stuff came up. I had to also check internet. Even the music is kind of off key, just to say this isn't going well right now. There's complete silence for a beat. Why green hair? Why give this rando green hair? Oh my god, he already looks like he's... This guy looks like a fucking piece of shit. I only came here for the food anyway. Let's go, guys. Once this boy speaks up and begins to lead his friends away, one by one, more students start to follow them out the door. Honestly, I felt so uncomfortable reading through this entire thing. So, props to the writers, like, I felt as uncomfortable as the characters. Oh. And this is why teachers should be present for stuff like this, so, you know, bullshit like that don't happen. I throw a panicked look over to Monica, who's holding a strange, stiff expression on her face. Looks like she's struggling to stay calm for everyone. After a few moments, there's barely anyone left. Yuri, meanwhile, quietly begins speaking again, but her voice is barely audible. There's just a stifling silence accompanying her words. When she finishes, a weak smattering of applause sounds from the few who are left. They went from a full house to a few people. Oh my god. Oh man, I hate this. I hate this so much. No, it's okay. Am I able to actually edit those myself? I feel like I can't. I don't know. I'll look into it, but they've been pretty good. I appreciate it. She unsteadily steps down from the stage, a blank look on her face. She won't look at any of us either. I'm worried about her. Yeah. She's basically got Hanako levels of anxiety. If that wasn't obvious from base game. But they kind of just, you know, ramped it up for this a bit more. Which is okay. Just makes her more of a character. Okay. Monica's voice cracks as she speaks up. She's still trying her best to see us through this. I don't think any of us could have predicted it would turn out this way.
Thank you, Yuri. You did wonderfully. I'm sincerely sorry for all the disruptions and sheer arrogance you had to endure. Those kinds of people really are the worst. To those who are left, I want to thank you for staying and apologize as well. This is definitely not a normal occurrence for the Literature Club, I assure you. Well, let's finish off with Baron then.
With a heavy heart, I slowly get up and walk onto the stage. When I get to the podium, I'm appalled by the sight of the classroom. Candy and cake wrappers are strewn across the floor, and quote cards lay tossed about, with many of the cards now featuring shoe prints over the words. Yeah, kids in this school can go to hell. That's all I'm gonna say to that. The remnants of goodie bags are left ripped apart on desks. Even the kanji curtain looks tangled up and messy. The only students left are the ones who waved to Monica at the beginning. This is what Yuri had to see when reciting her poem. No wonder she didn't want to look up and face these people. Can I really do this now? How are the others able to finish their poems? I look at the clock. Only 10:20. Has it really only been 20 minutes? 20 minutes of hell, that's what. Taking a shaky breath, I begin to speak. Hi, everyone. I'd like to take a second to apologize as well. Both of those checking out the club today and those who are already in it. But despite everything that's happened, I can say I'm glad I joined since I got to meet so many amazing people. Yeah, I'm trying to, salvage this. It's probably not gonna work. I believe that you guys will love it as much as I did too. Anyhow, I hope you all enjoy Acquainted with the Night. I start reading, and I'm struck once again by the beauty of the poem. The loneliness and isolation conveyed so accurately. I can relate to a lot of these feelings. I won't be as good as the others at reciting, but I can only hope that I'll be able to do the poem justice. Thoughts of doing both the poem and the club proud strengthened my spirit, and I managed to fight through the depressing mood. The quiet of the classroom suits the lines of the poem well, and my recital seems to fly by rather quickly.
Excellent performance, Baron. What a great way to round off the event.
As I step down from the stage, Monica stands up and addresses the room.
Thank you all for coming and staying. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. That's it for the scheduled recitations, but you guys are free to stay and hang out if you want.
You really think anyone's gonna want to stick around after that? There's an awkward silence for a few moments, then the remaining students start to stand up. Yeah, everyone's gonna fucking leave. They stayed out of just kind of pity. It's like, we now feel bad, so we're gonna stay for at least the poems. Oh. Oh, this is... Oh, original character that's just introduced just to make more characters in this world, by the way. We're not going to see too much of her from my recollection. Just to be forewarned. I don't even have a voice for this. Hey, Minifoots. This is a mod. This is a mod for the game. So, Act 1 starts out more or less the same, and then after that it veers off into more of traditional visual novel.
Hey, Monica. Oh, you too, Baron.
I didn't know you were in this club. I got momentarily excited. Yeah, no, this isn't DLC for the game, unfortunately. That we're still waiting on, and even then he said it's just an addition to the base game. Not a sequel, just an addition in some way. The girl standing before us is actually my homeroom's class representative, Shiori. Given that both she and Monica are class reps, they're probably friends. Yeah, only staying out of pity. Jesus, this did not go well. Yeah, I only joined about a week ago, so
Ah, I see.
yep.
Hey, the way you guys were treated was seriously awful. It's fine. Thanks for staying. Either way, sorry about everything, Monica. I'll check out the club sometime.
She gives us a small.
What the hell?
Yeah, they are nice. It's just, to add to the world, so there's more actual characters living in it. As much as I don't want to make this connection, they're just the character a la Kenji, just they're not insane. But they're just another person in the school you talk to and know at least. Because you need side characters. What? Commissariatory? I gotta look up how the hell you even pronounce that word. Pronunciation. Yeah, I am currently Googling that. Because that is a word I do not know. Okay, well, it's basically just saying she's basically giving us a smile out of sympathy. Or empathy or pity. Whatever, I'm just gonna go commissariatory. I don't fucking... I'm just gonna say pity. Pitiable smile. Even though it just says pity or sympathy. Whatever. Screw it. She gives us a small smile, and I'm torn between wondering whether everyone's pitying us or sympathizing with us. Any other word I look up on Google, it gives me a thing that how to pronounce it. This one, no. They all start to file out of the classroom after a few more goodbyes. Monica keeps a strained smile plastered on her face. Meanwhile, Yuri has her head buried in her arms on the desk. In contrast, Natsuki is staring straight ahead, gritting her teeth, and Sayori looks down at her desk, picking at a spot on the varnished wood. To say there's tension in the air would be a massive understatement. There's silence in the room, made worse by the sense of awkwardness. No one knows what to say. No one expected the festival to end this way, and the impact is hitting us all. Yeah, it went like shit. So, that could have gone better. My attempt at humor falls flat, and I immediately regret speaking. Natsuki gives me a dirty look, but Sayori smiles wanly. Meanwhile, it looks like Monika's face has finally fallen. I don't understand. Where did we go so wrong, guys? We spent so long preparing for this, and after all our efforts... You spent a grand total, like, 2 days preparing. I wouldn't say that's a long time preparing for it. You spent a day putting your stuff together for, just for setup, and 1 day practicing poems together. That isn't a lot of time for prep. So I don't know what the hell Monika's thinking. For the first time, that outgoing confidence Monika always seemed to radiate has snuffed out. She clearly cared a lot about this event, and I feel awful for her. I know, I don't get it either. I thought you guys all did such a good job as well. Decorations, the recitals... I'm sorry, Monika. Don't worry about it, Baron. It's not like it's your fault in any way. She smiles weakly at me. Glancing around, I notice that Yuri and Natsuki seem particularly upset, with Yuri looking absolutely dejected and Natsuki steaming mad. Oh, great.
This is your fault, Monika. I told you this was a stupid idea. None of us were even that comfortable doing it in the first place. Now look where it's landed us.
Excuse me? My fault. You all agreed to do this. Pardon me for thinking they would actually go well. So what's wrong about that?
We only agreed to do it because we felt like you were forcing us.
I was really hoping this wouldn't happen. Given everyone's low moods, an argument is the last thing we need.
I didn't force anyone, Natsuki. You know how much this club means to me. I was just excited to show what we have to the rest of the school.
Yeah, because that's such a good idea, wasn't it?
I'm really starting to get sick of your constant sarcasm, you know. Why can't you just try being positive for once in your life?
Gee, it's funny you should say that, because I'm really starting to get sick of your self-righteous know-it-all attitude. We told you this was a bad idea, but no. You just had to insist on this, even though no one was happy with it.
It was for a reason. Look how much Baron enjoys it here. Is it really so unreasonable to think that we could have found someone else like him? Or is that just too positive for you to even fathom?
This is awful. The other students were bad enough, but now Monika and Natsuki are going for at each other's throats?
Look at how badly everyone was humiliated. How inconsiderate all of those...
She struggles for a moment, her anger inhibiting her ability to speak.
Those assholes were. To all of us. They didn't give a damn about anything we had to say. What did that one prick say? He was only here for the food? All that hard work. Just for what? Nothing.
She angrily kicks one of the desks. The loud noise jolts Yuri, who looks up with tears in her eyes. Oh my god. I mean, yeah, this is something that would happen after a failed attempt at something. Someone is gonna get mad. Oh, God. I don't like this. I don't like it.
Please, Natsuki, can you calm down?
Don't tell me you're taking her side, Yuri. You had to experience the worst of it. I don't get why you're not mad either.
Because she's not a confrontational person in any way, shape, or form. That's why. Telling someone to calm down always calms them down, right? I know. Totally.
Natsuki, there's no point in being angry at Monica. She didn't want this to happen. She had no idea people would react this way. It's bad enough that the students were rude, and I really don't like fighting inside the club itself.
Yeah, but if Monica just listened to us when we said we weren't comfortable with the whole idea, this would have never happened.
Monica sighs. This is the kind of conflict she generally leaves for Sayori to deal with. But in this case, Sayori looks too distraught to intervene.
Look, what you're not understanding is that sometimes you just have to take risks. Sure, this didn't go so well, but there's always a chance it wouldn't have ended this way, and we could have had new members.
She turns to me.
I mean, you of all people can understand that best, right, Baron? You made the choice to come here. Look how much you enjoyed it.
Oh my God.
Oh, don't you try and suck up to him, Monica. Face it, you never listen to us, your club members, or take our opinions into account. Tell me I'm not alone in thinking that, Baron.
Oh great. Now I have to choose a side? I really don't want to do this. I desperately look at Yuri and Sayori, but both look too upset to want to get involved. Hey Mass, how's it going? Yeah, we went through the festival. It did not go well at all, so now Natsuki's blaming Monica. This is not great. So I guess that's gonna be... Oh, Christ. Whose side do I take on this? Why isn't there a third option? They were both kind of right. It's something we didn't want to do, but we also need to take risks. Like, I don't know. This is... Oh, good lord. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm at least gonna hit save there, just so I have a save. I mean, I'm honestly kind of with Monica more. You just didn't care because you're doing Yuri route? I mean, out of all of this, Natsuki just putting the blame completely on Monica and saying she forced us to do it is a bit much. So I'm gonna side with Monica. She's kind of in the right. We had to take a risk. We did not know it would go that terribly. Something tells me this is gonna make me very unpopular with Natsuki. I brace myself for what's going to come next. Natsuki, come on. You know better than I do that Monica loves this club. It's only natural she wants to share it with the rest of the school.
Seriously? You're actually taking her side? I can't believe this.
Oh, Christ. Ugh. Ugh. No, it's not like that. I'm not taking her side. It's just...
Just what? That's exactly what you're trying to do, Baron. Don't try and backpedal.
Natsuki, that's not what he's trying to say. He just...
Oh, of course you're jumping to his aid. Shut up, Monica.
Jesus Christ. Natsuki, I think you're best girl, but fuck.
Monica looks furious, and for a moment I think Natsuki has finally gone too far. She closes her eyes and takes a deep breath, evidently trying to contain her anger.
Jeez, Natsuki. Don't you think that was a little out of order? You didn't have to shout at her.
What would you know? You haven't even been here for 5 days. Why is everyone making me out to be the bad guy here? Because you're being the bad guy. Remember when Monica said she'd make sure people weren't going to be rude during our performances? Wow, congratulations! You sure did a fantastic job with that. I mean, it's not like anyone wolf whistled at Yuri or anything, was it? Some enforcer you were.
Yeah, that's also a thing that happened, Jen. Someone did straight up wolf whistle Yuri. Ugh. Her bitter, sarcastic triad continues on, each point worsening the atmosphere.
I'm the only one who can see this for what it is. It's just Monica trying to use the club to boost her popularity. And it sickens me. You think we're all just, what, some sort of pawns for you? Explains why I didn't even consider how reluctant we all were to do this, or why you let everyone just walk all over us.
Natsuki, you're being ridiculous now. Why would I want to hurt all of us? It's not exactly been easy on me, either.
Natsuki lets out a snort of derision.
You? What would you, of all people, know about life being hard?
Monica blinks, looking like she's been slapped.
It's easy for you, Monica. With your role as queen of this school, everyone liking you, all that crap. You have such a perfect life and all. Never having to defend your interests, never having anyone ridiculing you for things you like. I share classes with those assholes, you know. And you can bet they're gonna have a lot of fun telling everyone else about how much of a loser we all are. And guess what? It's all because of you.
You can practically hear the venom dripping from her words at this point. It's absolutely horrible.
Face it. Sayori would be a better president than you could ever be.
The fuck did that come from? And with that, a sickening silence falls onto the room once more. But this time, it's a million times worse. The fire in Natsuki's eyes is blazing, and quiet sobs can be heard from Yuri. Sayori's miserably hugging herself, looking completely lost for words. Monica is wearing a stony expression on her face, looking both enraged and heartbroken. The whole club waits for her reply to the bombshell Natsuki just dropped on her. But without a word, Monica turns on her heel and walks out the door, the impact of Natsuki's words hanging in the air behind her. No one knows what to say. For a few moments, the heavy silence remains. We all exchange looks. Yuri is meekly wiping her tears on her sleeve, and Sayori is standing around awkwardly. Natsuki, on the other hand, is refusing to meet anyone's gaze. She looks like she's regretting her words a little bit.
Guys? Please, can we make sure that never happens again? It was awful!
That was a horrible experience. Horrible to experience, to say the least.
Without Monica to restore order and keep things going, the club suddenly feels very aimless and disorganized.
Natsuki, I know you're angry, but can you please find Monica and apologize? But please? I know you're feeling a bit guilty over what you said. After all, you were a bit mean.
Natsuki grumbles something under her breath. Nah, it's okay. I'll go and find Monica. No offense, Natsuki, but I don't think she'd particularly want to see you right now. I wince as the words leave my mouth. There's probably a more diplomatic way of saying it. Natsuki glares at me.
Fine.
As I turn to leave, I silently motion to Yuri and Sayori to try and talk to Natsuki. Sayori nods and Yuri nervously swallows. Now. Well, my bitrate bottomed out for a second there. Interesting. Now, where would Monica go? She would probably want somewhere quiet where she could be herself, right? Oh, of course, my bitrate is now 0. Oh my god, someone is doing something right now, I know it. Can I just hold out that little bit longer? Which rules out classrooms, the courtyard, and the cafeteria. The only two places coming to mind are the girls' toilets or the rooftop. Well, I'm hoping it isn't the girls' toilets. I make my way over to the staircase that leads up to the top, thinking about how this conversation is going to go. Will she even want to talk to me? She didn't even say anything as she left. Was she that upset? I mean, I would be too if someone said, yeah, the club you're in charge of and created, you're a terrible leader for it. Someone else would be much better. That'd be pretty freaking upset. Although, given what Natsuki said, I really wouldn't blame Monica. Guess there's only one way to find out. There's a door at the top of the stairs, which opens out to the rooftop. Bracing myself, I put my hand on the cool steel door handle and push the door open. Man, the view up here really is something. I shiver as the wind cuts through my blazer. It's a cold and desolate place. A fitting setting for what just happened. I look around, and there she is, leaning slightly over the barriers at the edge of the rooftop, face turned away from me. Not a peep sounds from her, not even when the wind slams the door closed behind me. Monica? No answer. I slowly approach her, making as little noise as possible in some illogical attempt to not scare her away. You, look pretty upset, so I thought I'd come find you. I trail off, mentally berating myself at how weak that must have sounded. She stays completely still as I sidle up to her side, leaning on the railing so I can see her face. I don't know what I expected, but her expression is oddly calm. Monica.
Beautiful view, isn't it?
Yeah. You could say that. Is that the reason you came up here?
It's part of it. On days like this, the wind and the eternally stretching blue sky makes me feel like I can go anywhere. It feels freeing. There's something comforting in the possibility of getting swallowed up by that blue. Being able to simultaneously take control and lose control.
Monica, well, I know that you're obviously not okay. But I'm not asking if you're okay to know if you're okay. I'm going to ask if you're okay so that you can choose to talk to me about whatever you want to. To give you an opportunity to open up. So, are you okay? A thin smile appears on her face. Progress?
That's sweet of you, Baron. To be honest, I didn't expect you to have any tact at all.
Me neither.
Did you expect that I'd be crying up here? Contemplating suicide or something? Don't worry. I wouldn't do it just because of the festival.
Well, I wouldn't blame you if you want to cry it out.
You know, I actually thought I would cry at first. But maybe I'm all cried out. I guess I've come to terms with all the things that Natsuki has said already.
She says such weighty words so casually. What Natsuki said wasn't true, Monica. I think that you're a fantastic president. I hasten to try to give less empty words after she arches an eyebrow at me. And I'm not just saying that to cheer you up either. Remember what you said before the festival? During your little pep talk? She faintly nods. Well, I'm gonna reiterate it anyway, because it's important that you're aware of how much I mean it. Thank you. For everything. You took me in when I really needed it. Remember how I said earlier that I've been feeling lonely? She nods again. Well, that's how things have been for me recently. I haven't seen much of my parents lately, and most of my days I'd spend alone. All that changed when I joined your club. You were all so friendly and welcoming. Not once did you ever turn me away because I wasn't a poet. I mean, between you and me, I know my poems weren't the greatest.
You have a lot of potential, Baron. I did like your poems.
Well, I'm glad you think so. But anyway, that's beside the point. You accepted me for who I was, and was always willing to help me. And more importantly, you created something that 3 other girls hold dear to their hearts. Definitely the sign of a good president, if you ask me. Monica looks down for a moment, as if composing herself, and then meets my eyes with a smile.
Thank you, Baron. It really means a lot. Like I said earlier, hearing all this from a newcomer really does make me believe I've hit my goals I set for myself. All I wanted was to create a little haven that people could call home, no matter their writing ability.
Well, take it from someone who joined only a few days ago then. You've definitely succeeded. Also, had you not made this club, I never would have gotten to meet Yuri and Natsuki, or been able to hang out with Sayori again. Nor would I have gotten to get to know you better either. And that would have been a real shame, eh? I playfully nudge her, receiving a nudge back. This past week has probably been the happiest I've ever been in a long, long time. And that is all thanks to you. We share a smile, one that I'm now sure is completely genuine on Monica's part.
I don't really know what to say.
It's okay, seriously. I just wanted you to know how I felt. Anyway, Natsuki was a bit out of order with her words, but honestly, I don't think she meant it. I guess tensions were just running really high, and you know better than I do how fiery she can be.
Yeah, I know she was just really upset, but hearing those words, it hit pretty deep, you know? I tried telling myself not to take her words to heart because I knew she was just upset. But it was that line about Sayori being a better president. I don't know why it got onto my skin so much.
It was just spite, Monica. People say awful things when they don't mean when they're upset. Sayori and Yuri are talking to her now, and I get the feeling she wants to apologize, but just doesn't know how to.
Well, that's definitely something Natsuki needs to work on. By the way, thank you for making the effort to find me. It really means a lot.
I'm suddenly struck by the situation I'm in. Here I am, alone, with one of the most attractive, popular girls of the year, having a heart-to-heart. Too bad there's no Monica route, unfortunately. Probably a situation most of the other guys in the school would kill to be in. My face heats up a little as I process the heartfelt, rather vulnerable scene we're both in. You're welcome, Monica. Nothing to thank me for. I sheepishly scratch the back of my neck. We should go and find the others, though. Don't want them to worry or anything. We stand up and make our way back to the door.
I hope so. I wasn't exactly nice to be told that you have a perfect life and that you'd never experience any difficulties.
As we make our way back to the club, I just hope Sayori and Yuri are able to talk some sense into Natsuki. The last thing we need is another argument. She's silent as we wordlessly make our way back to the classroom. We finally arrive. I squeeze her shoulder as she takes a deep breath and walks in.
Ah, they're back!
Yuri and Sayori hurry over to us, looking worriedly at Monica. Meanwhile, Natsuki remains standing off to the side by herself, arms folded. Thanks for the follow.
Hey guys, I'm alright, really.
Welcome in, Mooney. Hope your day's going well.
Taking some time outside helped clear my head, and I'm feeling a lot better now. Not to mention, Baron was a real help too. I'm relieved. It was a frightening prospect to consider losing our club president.
Yeah, and now that everyone's calmed down, we can talk things out. Natsuki, why don't you come join us? Fine.
She drags her feet as she makes her way over to us. I notice Monica fidgeting with the hem of her skirt and smile reassuringly at her.
Okay, so I'm here.
Natsuki's eyes dart up to meet Monica's for just a second.
So,
There's an awkward silence as Natsuki's voice trails away. Sayori raises her eyebrows at her, causing the smaller girl to return with a glare. I showered when we were just getting to not fighting. Well, I mean, we ran. Monica left the room after Natsuki said Sayori would be a much better president. So it's just me and Monica kind of had a heart-to-heart talking on the roof while Sayori and Yuri calmed down Natsuki and probably got her to realize you were way out of line. So we just got them we just finally got them into the same room.
I think what Natsuki means to say is that she just said all those things in the heat of the moment.
A crime of passion, as it were.
Hey! Jeez, I can speak for myself, okay?
She says that, but...
Alright, I'm just gonna get this over with. What I wanted to say was, I didn't mean it when I said that you were a bad president. I mean, I guess it's pretty clear you care a lot about the club.
Sayori nods vigorously at her, egging her on.
It's just those jerks piss me off so much I blurted out random things and needed to vent. Well, I won't lie. It does seem like you always get special treatment because you're so popular, Monica. But then again, I wouldn't know what you've have to go through. On a totally different level from the rest of us.
Natsuki.
Anyway, that's all I guess. I've always seen you as a friend, and I hope you'll still be able to see me as one too.
This is such a non-apology. It's Natsuki. It's the best we're gonna get. There's tension in the air once again as we anxiously wait for Monica's response. Natsuki shifts back and forth on her feet, looking like she almost wants to run away from the scene.
Thank you for saying that. I'm not going to lie either. Your comment doubting my presidency hurt.
It's definitely not true, though. You're a great president, Monica.
Yeah, you brought us all together. Without you, we wouldn't have become friends, and I wouldn't have been introduced to the world of poetry. Oh my god.
I agree. It's an amazing feeling to be able to talk to like-minded individuals.
Yeah, as far as presidents go, we could definitely do worse.
Jeez, what? Oh, that feels like a backhanded compliment. I mean, we could do worse. Jesus. And so what if you nudge us into the festival? I guess it's only normal for the president of all people to want the club to grow. What have I done? What have I done? Okay. I think that's this right size. Thanks for the follow. Maybe. Yeah, there. I grabbed the wrong thing and now the game window shrunk. There we go. That's better. Yeah, that looks about right.
Thanks, guys. I guess after all that, I have no choice but to accept Natsuki's apology, eh?
I mean, it'd be really great if you could.
That's certainly an understatement.
We all turned to look at Yuri, surprised at the glimpse of a humorous side to her.
Did I say something strange?
Oh, Yuri, you're so funny.
I let out a breath I'd been subconsciously holding. Seems like everything's turned out well in the end, or at least as well as they can, given the circumstances.
Okay, everyone.
And with that catchphrase, everything seems alright in the world once again.
I totally forgot to mention this, but we still need to clean everything up. I'm sure that with all of us working together, though, it won't take that long to do.
I'm assuming everyone's just gonna skip the festival and go home after this?
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty tired after all the stuff that just happened.
As am I.
Same here.
I wish I could leave too, but I have a shift in my class's cafe after this. It's alright though. Everyone get moving on so you can all go home.
Everyone starts cleaning up the room, myself included. Yuri and Natsuki start packing up the essential oils set and cupcake trays respectively. Meanwhile, Sayori, Monica, and I pick up everything left on the ground and desks. It's like we're erasing all trace that the festival ever happened in here. Although, I can't help but think that there's still this lingering tension in the air, despite Monica's cheery expression. I have a feeling that Monica might just be putting the club before herself in this case. But the only thing I can do now is hope that everyone will feel better tomorrow. It'll be pretty nice to get home from school early for a change, to be able to relax. Although now that I think about it, I really only have anime and video games to look forward to. I guess that everything that's happened today is going to be plaguing my mind tonight. Morning already? I groan as I fumble for the alarm clock. Man, I just feel like sinking into the depths of my bed. Is it natural to feel this tired after waking up? What's the time anyway? 10:30 a.m.
Holy crap! I've already pretty much missed the first 2 classes! Should I even go to school today, or just cut my losses and skip?
fierce battle rages within my mind as I lay there. After a beat, I leap out of bed and begin throwing on my uniform. I don't even want to go to school, but I strangely feel compelled to stick to my everyday routine. Guess Mom really trained me well. No time to eat breakfast today. To be honest, I'm usually too lazy to cook anything anyway. If I skipped, I had to get la chancla from my grandmother and my aunt. Beware the chancla. It's 10:39 a.m. now. I'm making good time. Hang on. It's Saturday. As that realization hits me, all the nervous tension drains out of my body, leaving me slouched over and exhausted. Where the chancla is a weapon more powerful than the atom bomb. I missed the bus once and skipped, then got in trouble for not walking to school. Sure, let me walk an hour to school. Let me just walk to the other side of town. Yeah, fuck that noise. Now that I'm already out of bed, I might as well do something productive today. Although I'll have to get changed into my normal clothes first. At least there's no school to get through today, although unfortunately the literature club is still feeling the effects of the festival. Just go home, grab my BMX bike and say, alright, I'm gonna go. And I'm having to do it in the. Oh my god. Siblings don't snitch on each other. Don't do that. They didn't find out until dinner time because I answered the auto messages. That's the best. Your son or daughter, name here, was absent today at school. We're the worst for snitching. I just realized I never took the tea bag out of this cup. So that was just something weird to see still sitting in the bottom of it. I'm glad I saw it and it didn't just, slide into my damn mouth. That would have been a hell of a thing to do on stream. Okay, yeah. You can see how rushed I was to get started. I just kind of forgot I left it in there. Oh well. Thankfully, the awkward atmosphere is only subtle, but even I, a newbie, can see that everyone's been treading on eggshells. I really do hope that things can eventually get back to normal, but at this rate, I could easily see everyone drifting apart. Please reenact this alternate plane where you do, in fact, guzzle a teabag. I am not doing that. No, that ain't happening. Nothing you can do can make me reconsider. Monica hasn't spoken to me about things yet either. I meant to talk to her about the festival argument the day after, but I just couldn't figure out a way to confront her about it. It's probably just me being too reluctant to bring things up, but I never really found the right time to talk. I should get out of the house for once and stop thinking about things. It'll be a nice change of pace from staying on my computer all day. Gotta get rid of that pasty pale complexion. At least the weather isn't bad today. It's a regular sunny day, not too hot and not too cold. It's just me, my bag, and... come to think of it, I don't even know where I'm headed to. But if I want to be productive today, the library is probably my best bet. Closest one also happens to be near school, so I might even see some people I know there. Hopefully I can get some work done, but knowing me, I'll most likely procrastinate anyway. The refreshingly cool air sends shivers up my spine as I step inside. Seems to be a bit of a slow day for the librarians. Well, most people are probably out enjoying the sunny day instead of wasting away indoors. I shrugged to myself. Knowledge is power, right? While everyone else spent their days frolicking outside, I studied the books. Oh. Oh my god. And while you were inside studying books, I was studying the blade. To be honest though, I haven't studied for exams yet at all. Every time I try, my mind wanders back to the festival. Coming here was the right choice. If I was trying to work at home like usual, I'd just get in a bad mood and slack off again. Hell, I can't help but think about it now. I wonder how everyone else is doing. Damn. Maybe I'll try to ask about it again during the next club meeting. As I scan the empty tables for the optimal seating position, I spot a familiar white ribbon perched atop a ponytail. I'd have expected that Monica would be out with her friends, but then again, she is an honors student. Oh, hey Monica. Hello, Baron. She smiles and is polite as ever, but it doesn't seem like she's very talkative at the moment.
Didn't expect to see you at the library.
Well, I had to study, but I didn't think I'd be able to get anything done at home.
Oh, is that so?
I may not be the most observant guy around, but she seems like she wants to be alone. Way to go, me. Anyway, I'll see you later.
Bye.
Well, that could have gone much worse. It was like talking to a brick wall. To be honest, I'm not sure if she's actually being frosty or if I'm just overthinking it. Although she might just be busy studying right now, in which case I probably shouldn't bother her anymore. Suddenly, I don't really feel like studying. And since I'm here, maybe I should do some reading. I pull out Portrait of Markov out from my bag. I quickly flip to where I last left off last night and begin reading. where I left off last night. I gotta stop adding words. It's really quite a captivating book. If all the novels Yuri reads are like this, I can see why she'd be so absorbed in them all the time. Although maybe she's just rubbing off on me. I'm in the middle of a chapter when I feel a tap on my shoulder. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be, pretty sure this will be Yuri. Can't wait to get my laptop fixed so I can just get my soundboard back up. So we run out and VC while spamming the skeleton with a trumpet doot doots. Oh my god.
Oh, Baron. Is that you?
Yep, Yuri. Looking up from my book, I see Yuri standing over the other side of the table, as if on cue. A thick, dark book is snugly resting under her arm.
I'm sorry if I startled you. I suppose I'm just a bit surprised to see you.
Give me some credit, Yuri. I can enjoy a good book, too.
Oh, I didn't mean to insult you or anything. It's just
Trying to make things more comfortable with humor, but it predictably fell flat. Should remember that Yuri tends to take these sorts of comments more to heart than other people might. Relax, I was just kidding around.
I see.
Yuri's shoulders visibly relax.
Would you mind if I asked what you're reading?
Oh, sure. It's actually Portrait of Markov. Yuri's eyes light up at those words.
I'm very glad you're liking it. That is, I assume...
Don't worry, Yuri. It's a really good book. Yuri sighs a little in relief.
Then I stand by my first statement, Baron. Anyway, speaking of books, if you're enjoying Portrait of Markov so much, I'd like to introduce you to other books like that.
Yuri can be kind of intimidating in her own way, especially if you played, the original game and know the stuff she did there. Yeah, that'd be great. I have full faith in your taste when it comes to books. A small smile plays across Yuri's face.
Actually, I just had a thought. I know a wonderful place nearby we could go right now if you'd like.
The next book? Marquis de Sade? Yeah, totally. Yeah, she's totally gonna have us read about the Marquis de Sade. Huh? Really? Is it another library or something?
I suppose it's related.
Well, lead the way. I wasn't doing much here anyway.
Thank you for coming along, despite the short notice.
It's no bother at all, really. Again, I can't help but feel amazed at how much Yuri's taking charge. It's really quite nice seeing her break out of her shell a little bit. She does have an air of mystery about her still, but I guess I'll start learning a bit more about her as each day passes. two of us start heading away from the library. So, where are we headed, Yuri?
I intended for it to be a surprise. Do you not like surprises? If so, you have my deepest apologies.
Every time I see the word hanging, I get flashbacks. Ah, it's fine. I'm just curious is all. This is like some sort of adventure, huh?
Well, I suppose if that's how your imagination wants to interpret it, I am inclined to agree.
Even though I'm currently with Yuri, this situation reminds me of the times I used to spend with Sayori back when we were kids. Always running around the neighborhood, acting like we were on some grand adventure. Sayori. I haven't spoken to her since the festival fiasco. Maybe it would be a good idea to...
Baron? Is everything alright? You seem to have spaced out a bit.
It's nothing. I'm just thinking about things.
I see. Well, we're almost there. Just a little bit further to go.
Continuing onwards, we pass through some trees until we come to a small clearing. Oh wow. Before us is an amazing sparkling lake. Gentle waves dance delicately across the surface, carried by the soft wind.
Isn't it wonderful?
It's lovely. I've always liked this pond.
Oh, you've been here before then?
With Sayori. Years and years ago, that is.
I see. Well, Baron, I don't know about you, but I find that this place is the perfect place to come when I need a bit of space to myself.
Oh? Do you come here often then?
Not as often as I did when I was younger.
For a split second, a pained expression crosses Yuri's face.
Some days were...
She shakes her head.
Anyway... Perhaps I can give this to you?
Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a moderately sized book.
Here. I think you'll enjoy this one.
Yuri! You have to go out of your way to... You don't have to go out of your way for me with this. I flubbed that up big time. What else is new?
It's okay. I've read this one many times. It could do with a new owner. Besides, the best thing about a story is how it can be shared. No matter who reads it, you're never going to find two people with the exact same opinion.
Probably to creep people out. That's my guess why it's still there.
And, well...
Yuri nervously plays with her hair.
After you've been so kind to me, I wanted to do something nice for you too.
I see. Well, thank you very much. I'll definitely give this a read and let you know what I think. I turn over the book in my hands. The cover is hard and glossy, the pages showing small signs of wear. I guess Yuri wasn't lying. She must have read this book at least 50 times. I wonder what makes this story so important. As I turn back toward her, I notice how intently she's staring at the lake's gentle surface. When was the first time you came here? Hmm? She looks over at me quizzically. You said this place was special to you, right? I want to know why you feel that way.
Right.
She sighs and leans on the wooden guardrail. I quietly stand by her side.
Well, I suppose one day, when I was younger, things were particularly hard. Do you ever have those days, Baron? Where nothing seems like it can be good again?
That's pretty dark, isn't it? So, something about this place makes you feel better?
Not quite. I just came here one day. I'm not absolutely certain how I found this place, but I remember running a lot. Before I knew it, I was out here. In the sea of chaos, things felt serene, however briefly they might have.
I don't know what the hell's going on there. Feels like it's missing a word or two. Or I just kind of read that wrong. Oh well.
Everyone needs a place they can call their own. Somewhere they can decompress without worrying whether or not someone will intrude on them.
And here is that place for you? Yuri nods.
It's peaceful here. The sound of the water playfully lapping at the shoreline, the plush grass below, the nurturing trees above, providing a lovely shelter to embrace me in the midst of the elements. It's the kind of thing I really missed.
Have you shown this place to anyone else besides me? Like your parents? Yuri pauses, staring in front of her at nothing in particular.
I might have. This is the kind of place my father would have enjoyed. He used to do watercolors in his spare time, you see.
Does he not do it anymore? Yuri doesn't respond. Maybe you can bring him down here sometime. Might give him a bit of inspiration. He needs to get going again.
That's a good idea, Baron. I'll have to do that.
Hopefully he enjoys it as much as I am right now. This place is really incredible. Yuri smiles softly.
I'm glad. Maybe sometime we could come by again.
Yeah. We could bring a blanket and have a bit of a picnic.
That sounds nice.
I'll hold you to that. Yuri giggles.
I'll look forward to it.
I feel my face flush at the idea. A picnic with Yuri. Something so playful about that. I chuckle to myself at the image in my head. Yeah, that would be nice. Thanks for the follow. Two of us continue to pass the time looking over the lake. I'm surprised at how content I am to just sit here with Yuri. Normally, I'd want to do something a bit more exciting, but right now, I'm perfectly fine with this calmness. However, Yuri begins to shift uncomfortably. Yuri? Is everything okay? She jumps, apparently not expecting that.
Yes, I, there's just something I need to do that I just remembered.
She quickly gets up, nervously picking at the cuff of her sleeve.
I'm sorry to leave on such short notice. Please don't think ill of me.
Yuri.
Huh?
I stand up to meet her eye level. You've really got to work on your self-confidence. You apologize a lot for things that aren't even your fault. Must be so difficult having to go that. It must be so difficult having that going through your head all the time. Yuri looks around her, unsure of how to respond.
You're really too kind, Baron.
I mean it. You're a wonderful person, Yuri. Yuri blushes slightly.
Well, shall we head back now?
Only if you promise you'll be a bit kinder to yourself, okay?
I'll try. Thank you for coming to see the lake with me today, Baron.
Thanks for inviting me. I had a lot of fun today. I'll see you on Monday, okay?
Yes. See you then, Baron. Let me know what you think of that book. It's very dear to me.
Of course. Take care. With a polite wave, Yuri walks away. I'm happy I got to spend some time with her, but I hope she's doing okay. I feel like there's something she's not telling me. I'm probably just overthinking things again. Maybe I should just crack open the book Yuri gave me. Act 2. Alone Together. Alright. Keep that up, actually, for now. Okay, so Act 1 is done! Act 1 of Blue Skies is finished. Now we're on to 100% new content. I mean, we did get a lot of new content at the end there, but I mean, we had to go through a lot of old stuff to get to it. But now we're in the the mod exclusive stuff. We're on the mod exclusive Yuri route. So, in that case, where are we here? Oh wow, those are all still on. Oh well. So, because we are now on that route, there, Yuri's little chibi is now doing its smiling thing. Doing the smiling yay pose. I might make these bigger just to make it a little easier to see. But I like doing this as my little marker for which girl's route I'm on. So awesome. I'm happy with that. Alright. I am gonna call the stream there, because that's just kind of a perfect place to end off for today. Tomorrow, 10 o'clock, barring any, things I have to do, making it late, we'll be continuing on with Blue Skies, going into Yuri Route of Act 2 Yuri Route. Now, yeah, we get the real new content. And again, for anyone that wasn't there for the beginning, I am wearing a shirt my friend got me that finally showed up that he was supposed to get me for Christmas, and it's a Doki Doki shirt. It's Natsuki's first poem from the original game with little, drawings. I really like this thing. He knew I liked Doki Doki. Didn't know anything about it. He didn't even know what this was a reference to exactly. But he managed to pick the poem of my best girl, so good friend. Anyway. Yep, so again, 10 o'clock tomorrow, more Doki Doki Blue Skies. Thanks everyone for watching, commenting, lurking, all that fun stuff. Hope you have yourselves a great rest of the day. I'll see you next time.